He's up on second base with a one-out double for Chaska.
Well, a very good evening to you all. There we go. On the London Chevrolet Buick Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network, Ryan Paul here with my partner tonight, Eric Krauscher of the Chaska Herald. Thanks for joining us tonight, sir.
Thanks, Ryan.
Glad to have you. Eric, we don't have much time here pregame. The team just started warming up. Close JV game, so a little long running. Let's jump right into the show here. Chaska, success of late. They lost their first game to North St. Paul early in the season. You know, they beat Lakeville, top 10 team, just a couple nights ago, coming off a win. A couple easy wins against St. Paul teams. What do you think has been the key to their success so far this year?
Well, talking to Minnetonka coach Ryan Freeberg, he talked about Chaska's defense. And if you look at North St. Paul, they gave up 76. Since then, no other team has scored more than 60. So, defense is definitely something that Chaska has prided itself on, and I think that's been the difference here.
Yeah, and that's like you said, their defense. Matt Eliason going to be one of those guys that really is going to stand out on the defensive end. Anders Nelson for Edina, he's going to be their top scorer tonight. I would assume Eliason's going to be guarding him. What's Matt going to have to do to keep Anders on his toes?
Obviously that guy can extend the floor. I mean, he is a 25-foot shot guy, but he also likes to drive, and so. One thing that you got to do is you got to get out on players, not give them a lot of space. Last year, Edina won over Chaska in the regular season because they made 10 three-pointers.
Right.
And, you look at this Edina team, a lot of their scoring comes from the guard position.
Mm-hmm.
So closing out, not giving a lot of space on the outside will be a big thing for Chaska.
Well, as we talked about Edina there briefly, Anders Nelson, their star player. I want to jump back over to Chaska here. Senior Parker Bjorklund and Cole Nicholson, really their two top scorers on the year. Nicholson's had 20 points in his first 6 games. Eliason has been up in there too within the 20-point range. He's had 21 in the last 2 games. What's clicking between them and with them and the rest of the team?
With Cole, he's the guy now, and he was able to score, multiple different ways last year, and he's doing the same thing this year. He can take it inside, but he can also make the three-pointer. So he's a very, very tough guy to guard. You put a guard on him, he goes down low. You put a forward on it, he pulls him out. So, Cole can score different ways. Parker's definitely been the biggest surprise. He was your 8th guy last year, and now all of a sudden, he's going to the basket. He's aggressive. Something I talked about at ECU is who's going to shoot the ball late in games. Parker has been that guy. Lakeville North had a couple big N1s, and so he's really developed his offensive game of going to the basket, not taking long shots, but going towards the hoop.
Yeah, that's one thing that I remember you said in that Easter game we did a couple weeks ago, that Nicholson, he'll beat you inside, and then the next minute he could go out and hit three-pointers in a row. So that's a dual threat from Chaska's top-scoring junior so far this year. Let's go to the other side of the court here now. Edina, they're led by Anders Nelson, a senior, averaging 24.6 per game. He just got an offer from St. Cloud State last night. Edina's really clicked this year as a team. They beat top 10 Apple Valley, top 10 Crete Durham Hall. They have the number 1 seed as of right now. What's been working for them so far this year?
Well, you look at them, and last year was Anders Nelson and Walt McGrory. Walt graduates, and now you have other guys who have to step up. Jack Middleton's he got some clock last year as a sophomore. You also have Luke Glenna, who's really filled into that starting role. And so what's worked for them is a lot of scoring from the outside, a lot of scoring from that guard position. But like Chaska, good defense. Held a Delano team 59 or something like that the other night.
Yep.
Coach Berger is the same way as Coach Coleman. It starts with that defensive end, good transition offense.
Yep, and Edina's exploited some teams this year. Most recently, Delano, a top 10 3A team. They have Calvin Wishart to start. Chaska will see Delano a little bit later in the year. Their only loss this year to the Hornets has come to 4A Hopkins. They beat Crete Durham Hall and Apple Valley earlier this year as well. Let's kind of move to the night's matchup here. Chaska and Edina, the top 10 team. Chaska kind of, they're in the mix after when the next ranking comes out. What do you think Chaska's going to have to do to hold off Edina, or what Edina's going to have to do to keep the Hawks in check?
Well, the biggest thing for Chaska is that they need to get that consistent outside scoring. It's been there some games. It's been there at different points in games. Connor Krinos has done a great job of coming off the bench and scoring from the outside. Cole obviously gives you a 3, but beyond that, there hasn't been anybody else who's consistently scored from that line. So that'll be something to watch for Chaska. Edina's going to have to get some big minutes from their sophomore post. Jacob Hudson started off really great.
Yep.
He hasn't done as much scoring the last couple games. He's got to play good defense on Cole Nicholson. Try to keep him in check as much as you can.
Nicholson is extremely explosive for the Hawks on that offensive side of the ball. Hudson limited to just 2 points in his last couple games this season, high 13 against Apple Valley a couple weeks ago. Your prediction for tonight, I think it's going to be a good game at best. What do you think?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is that Edina has that big game experience. They've played a bunch of games here. Chaska's had some nice games too. We've had North St. Paul and Lakeville North, but this is the big first game on the home court. So for Chaska, you got to keep your emotions in check here. Come out, play your style of game, not try to get into a track meet, because that's just not their style. And so if Chaska can be in there late, they can win this game.
That's right. Well, that's Eric Krauscher for now. You'll hear him back on the broadcast when the game gets going. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Chaska Athletic Director John Summer on the show, running through some things with the athletic department as a whole. Thank you very much, Eric.
Thanks,
we'll see you later.
This Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network live stream is brought to you by Lenz & Chevrolet Buick, Above and Beyond Marketing Communications, and St. Francis Orthopedic Rehab.
Welcome back to Chaska High School. Ryan Paul and Chaska Athletic Director John Summer joins me on the show now. Thanks for coming on, Mr. Summer. Great that you guys could help us out getting down here courtside for the pregame show of this big game. I want to get right into it. We're a little bit limited on time. How about just a little outline of the athletic department? I know we're not really able to get around to all the teams. I wish we had the capacity here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network to cover all the teams. But kind of give us a little outline of an update of what's going on around the Chaska Hawks program.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me, and thanks for all that you do. This has been an incredible thing to watch you take this thing on, and it's been great for our fans. Just a quick winter update. We're getting ready to hit the holiday break here, and most of our winter sports are off and rolling. It'll be fun to see teams get in their tournaments next weekend. That's always a fun time of the year, the winter break tournaments. I would say probably the biggest things that stick out. We've boys basketball teams had a great start to their season. Get a strong test here tonight against number 1 Edina. One of the things that's been a little bit challenged, I'll say, in winter season is our lack of snow, which a lot of people really like, probably, except if you're a Nordic skier, and then you don't have an opportunity to ski. So that's been a real challenge for us in that program. Last week they were fortunate to be able to go up to northern Wisconsin and get a chance just to ski around and be on some snow, which I think they're excited about.
Great. Well, I know I was out in the parking lot the other day, and they have the actual wheel skis. So that's great. Now I want to kind of rewind here, go back to fall sports, the fall season with the football team. The Hawks obviously had the perfect regular season, and then we know what happened in the first round of sections. But we had a couple of standout plays that I think was it Carol Levin that recognized us.
Yeah, Carol Levin had the spotlight plays of the week, and thanks to all the support we got in our community, we had a couple winners that meant $1,000 each time for our school's athletic program.
So what, it was Justin Bach, the Hawks, one of the slot backs, and we had a couple defensive players for the Hawks who won. It was a $1,000 grant to the athletic program. What is the financial contribution that these kind of things can make to the athletic program? What does that kind of mean?
Obviously a lot of our programs get budgets through the school district. But these are just kind of add-ons. I was kind of joking with Coach Dahl a little bit because besides the $2,000 winners that we had for the players, Coach Dahl was also recognized as Coach of the Week for $1,000.
Awesome. Great.
So I said I got to stop budgeting for football. If you guys can just win these awards each year, and we can plan on that.
That'd be great. Yeah.
So right now we have that money. I'll work with Coach on it. We'll look at different things that we can use to improve our program. We've talked about, different technology pieces that you see a lot of the football programs using on the sidelines. So again, it's kind of some added dollars that we can say it's a good resource, and we'll find ways to utilize it. Yeah. Well,
we're kind of running out of time here. We'll get to you with live action here in just under 10 minutes. But thank you, Mr. Summit, for coming on. I appreciate it.
For sure.
We'll hopefully have you back on here soon if we can do one of these again. But for now, we're going to head to break. When I come back, we will be live with Chaska and Edina with Eric Crouch on the color commentary. Thank you to everybody for tuning into the Hawks pregame show, Chaska Basketball Report Live. We'll be right back.
This Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network live stream is brought to you by Lenz and Chevrolet Buick, Above and Beyond Marketing Communications, and St. Francis Orthopedic Rehab.
Come on.
Feel it coming in the air. Hear the screams from everywhere. I'm addicted to the thrill. It's a dangerous love affair. Can't be scared when it goes down. Got a problem, tell me now. Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
We are, yeah, I said it, we are. This is Rock Nation. Pledge your allegiance. Hit your fatigues on. All black everything. Black cars, all black everything. And I brought the black birds riding with they. I get more in depth if you boys really love. This is not familiar. I'll explain later. But for now, let me get back to this paper. I'm a couple bands down and I'm trying to get back. I gave Doug a grip, I lost a flip for 5 stacks. Yeah, I'm talking 5,6 0 shot 0 zigger. Back to run the circus well.
Who gonna run this town tonight?
Yeah. He's up at second base with a one-out double from Chaska.
Well, a very good evening to you all here from Chaska High School. Thank you very much for joining us on the Lenz and Chevrolet Buick Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Alongside me tonight, Eric Krauscher. Thank you for joining us in the pregame show, sir. Let's go down. We'll get to Eric in a second. Let's go down to the starting lineups here courtside. Getting ready for Chaska and Edina.
And
And as I said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside Chaska High School for tonight's matchup between your Chaska Hawks. Or I guess not your Chaska Hawks. We got some Edina fans watching tonight. And wherever you are in the state, thank you for watching us. Eric Croucher alongside me tonight. We got number 1 Edina against unranked Chaska. How you doing tonight, Eric?
I'm fantastic. December basketball. Let's play.
Nothing like it. Great atmosphere tonight inside Chaska High School. We're gonna, for Chaska starting, will be the typical starting lineup of Parker Bjorklund, Zach Leah, Marcus Peters, Matt Eliason, and Cole Nicholson. For the Hornets, we will see 3 seniors, Glenna Fisher and Nelson, a junior and Jack Middleton, and a sophomore starting at center number 50, Jacob Hudson. We're getting ready to tip things off here from Chaska High School, the number 1 seed, Edina Hornets against the Chaska Hawks. It'll be Bjorklund against Hudson in the circle. Hudson wins it back. Won it back over for Eliason. Eliason wins the opening tip, gives it over for Nicholson. Nicholson back up to the top of the key for Leah. Leah around here. Leah gives it up for a Nicholson tray. That's off. Rebound by Edina star Anders Nelson. Nelson down the other way, gives it off for Fisher. Now back up top to Glenna. Nelson wearing number 4 in all white has it here for the Hornets. Up top, Nelson guarded by Eliason, the Chaska premier defender. Gives it now over to number 10, Jack Middleton. Back up top here for Edina's Nelson. Now it's back over for Glenna. Glenna, here's a spots up at 3. That one's going to sink. 3 for Edina to start off the contest. Glenna gets the first points on the board for the Hornets. 3-0 here. About a minute in. Zach Lee at the top. Inside Bjorklund. Bjorklund blocked. Foul. Bjorklund's going to have a chance to put Chaska on the board first.
Be interesting to see who guarded Nicholson. The first time we had Middleton.
Yep.
Second time we had Hudson, so maybe switching it up a little bit.
Here's Chaska's Parker Bjorklund averaging 16.3 points per game. He gets his first one here tonight off of this free throw. 17 minutes to go here in the first half. Ryan Paul and Eric Croucher from Chaska High School. The second one from the Chaska seniors, up and good. Three to 2. Edina still with the lead. Here's Anders Nelson. Nelson averaging 24 a game from about 5 feet. He sinks that one. Edina up 5-2. Baseline jumper from Edina's Anders Nelson. You'll hear his name quite a bit tonight, Eric.
Yeah, well, Nelson's already tried to get inside twice. The first time Eliason stops him.
There's Cole Nicholson, who goes up off the window and sinks one to and one. And we're sitting right in the thick of the Chaska fans here, so you might hear a little crowd noise behind us. Here's Nicholson for the 3-point play. The Chaska junior, 23 points per game as a team high. He's had 20 points in all of his 6 contests this year. 16 and a half to go here in the first half. 5-5 tie.
Well, they list Hudson at 6'6" and Nicholson 6'6". Hudson's got him by a good 2 inches there.
The sophomore for Edina is Jacob Hudson, averaging 6.8 a year. Here's a turnover by Edina. Chaska's going to come down and have a chance to take the lead. Nicholson on the far side, working against Hudson. Nicholson has a one-hand pass over for Leah. Now into the corner for Bjorklund. Bjorklund on the baseline, guarded by Middleton. He is called for a travel, and it's another turnover. And need to have a conversation here. I think it might be about the last foul that was called. The foul was changed against Jacob Hudson. Here's Anders Nelson now. Crosses the timeline. And a kickball violation. It'll stay with Edina. On the baseline for Edina, that is Charlie Fisher. Jack Middleton, rather. Now it's Anders Nelson, far side, right in front of the Chaska bench, guarded by Bjorklund. Nelson, a nice move inside, and one. Anders Nelson showing his mobility there, putting Edina up 7-5 for the moment. They could go up by 3 here with this free throw from the Edina senior. Good night so far for Anders Nelson. He's up to 4.
Yeah, you got to switch there, and Parker reached there at the end.
The three-point play from Nelson's good. He's going to make a lot of shots. Chaska, or Edina rather, taking advantage of the switch. Bjorklund on the faster Anders Nelson. We can expect to see Matt Eliason for Chaska on Nelson for the majority of the evening. Here's Nicholson going to pull a three ball. That one's off, and it's going to go out of bounds in favor of the Hornets.
Yeah, that's...
So with an 8-5 lead and 15 and a half to go.
We didn't see Cole take a three-pointer at ECU until the second half. A little bit of a force there, the first two.
Sorry, he's trying to get something going. I should mention there are a lot of alumni in the house tonight. As what a shot from Jack Middleton from about 18, 15-15. A lot of alumni in the house tonight. Obviously, the winter break is approaching us. The college students are in attendance. A very good crowd on hand here. Here's Nicholson. He's going to pump fake a three, take it inside now to the rack. Nicholson can't get us a drop. Unfortunate break there for Chaska, and at 15 minutes on the clock. It's a 5-point lead for the Hornets. Here's Nelson from 15. That's cash. Wow. Anders Nelson yet to miss here. Chaska's going to need to pick it up. Here's Zach Leah, guarded in the backcourt by Charlie Fisher. Chaska's students showing their support. No Edina students in the house tonight. Nicholson off the window, no good. Bjorklund's there for the putback. It won't drop. Rebound by Edina's Hudson. Nelson back down, carries over. Here's a jumper. First miss of the game from Nelson's about 14 feet. Rebound Chaska, now it's Bjorklund across the timeline. Nicholson, Leah. Off to Eliason now. Eliason gives it over for Peters. Peters to Nicholson on the far side. Nicholson looks for an option. Here's Parker Bjorklund, who's open in the corner. Bjorklund takes a step inside the lane, a flop. And that's not even close. 12-5, 7-point advantage here for Edina. Chaska not showing their best shooting performance so far tonight.
Well, Chaska's trying to play to Edina's strength here, and that's what I was kind of talking about in the pregame. You got to play to a smaller possession type game.
And as Chaska goes down 10, 15-5, we will go to break under 14 here. Chaska takes the timeout first of the game. We'll be right back on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network.
This Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network live stream is brought to you by Lenzen Chevrolet Buick, Above and Beyond Marketing Communications, and St. Francis Orthopedic Rehab.
Now, did you give us a kick? Okay, welcome back to Chaska High School. 13:58 here. Eric Krauscher, Ryan Paul coming to you with a 10-point Edina lead after the Chaska timeout. We resume action here. Zach Leah brings the ball up the timeline. Leah gives it off for Junior Nicholson. Leah and Nicholson both work out a lot together in the offseason and during the season. They tend to go to Lifetime Fitness a lot. Here's Nicholson on the baseline. Beats Hudson. Nicholson goes up, is fouled. Nicholson going to try to cut it to a single-digit deficit here for Chaska. Down 15-5. Second on Hudson. Third foul against the Hornets tonight. If Chaska can get Hudson into foul trouble, that would be a positive for the Hawks. Nicholson's contact lens fell out, so we will have a brief stoppage. His daddy yelling behind us to get a new contact. Nicholson wants to shoot the free throws, though. 13-42. Connor Creno's the junior checked in. We'll play the two for Chaska. The first one from Nicholson's no good. We can blame that one on the lack of the contact. Hudson checks out for Edina. Enter the junior Cameron Schmidt, 6'2". Nicholson for the second at 2. Up and good. 9-point lead for Edina. 13:40 to go. Anders Nelson calling out the plays before he crosses the timeline. Nelson just got an offer from St. Cloud State last night, we learned. He's guarded by Eliason. Eliason doing a good job of locking him down. At the top, Luke Glenna loses the ball. Fix is going to check in for Chaska. Glenna steps back on Creno's. That's no good. Nicholson grabs the board. Here comes Chaska down the timeline. It's Nicholson. He gives it off for Eliason. Eliason right back to him. Nicholson down low for Bjorklund, slipping underneath. He's got a mismatch. Here's an Eliason three. That's long. Eliason not a 5-star shooter for the Hawks, and Edina's going to get a possession here. Middleton at the other end was blocked out of bounds.
Cole Nicholson runs to the locker room. He's going to put a new contact in here.
Anders Nelson waiting for the inbound, gives it off for Glenna. Glenna over to Nelson now. Nelson inside against Eliason. Eliason calls for a foul. Anders Nelson doing a good job of attacking Eliason. 13 minutes to go. 15-6 lead.
Yeah, as much as Eliason's done a good job of keeping his feet in front, Anders is going to keep going at him. That's just his style of game. He's not going to stop.
He's going to attack. It's the first on Eliason. Chaska's Matt Eliason, the senior, needs to stay out of foul trouble. Here's Nelson. He's 3 for 3 at the line, up to 8 points on the evening. A 10-point lead for the Hornets. 16-6. Nelson at the stripe for the second of 2. Up and through. So a 17-6 lead for Chaska here. Leah crosses the timeline. He's going to give it over near side to Eliason. Bjorklund now inside. Bjorklund working against half. Working against half. He goes and is up and good for 2.
Yeah, concerted effort here to get Parker the ball in the paint.
I spoke incorrectly earlier. It is number 22, Charles Half, on the floor, the 6'5 junior. Nelson got a free rebound, misses the lay-in though. Bjorklund skies high for the rebound. 17-8, 12:25 to go. Here's Krinos. Steps back at 3. Now he steps inside the arc from 18. Sinks it. Connor Krinos, a long 2 ball.
Real nice pass from Zach Leah. Good vision in the court and transition.
First points for the Chaska junior this evening off of the baseline jumper. 12:08 to go in the first half. Nelson inside the paint. A nice move. That one drops. Nelson really showing his ability to score here. We're only a couple minutes in. 19-10. 9-point lead for the Hornets. Chaska's Parker Bjorklund has 4 honors. Nelson up to 11 points now here. We're not even 10 minutes in. Now an offensive foul probably going to go against Zach Leah. Honors Nelson for Edina is pleased with the call. Hit a little screen, and Edina's going to get the ball back. 11:51 to go. 9-point lead.
Yeah, Chaska's got to weather the storm here a little bit. Keep it within strike the next couple minutes here.
Nelson up the floor, crosses the timeline, still guarded by Eliason. Number 20, Klus checked in. Blocked by Bjorklund again. Chaska's got numbers the other way. Nicholson's going to take it to the paint. Eliason gives it up for Leah. Leah with a trailer. He goes up and in. Got it! Zach Leah, a beautiful move. And one for the Hawks. Zach Leah, the sophomore.
That's really needed for Chaska. They need a little bit more offense from him, and that's a good start for him right here.
Leah only averaging 3.4 points per game, the 6'2 sophomore, that is. Shows some advantages on the facilitation side of things, but yet to have that breakout scoring performance. He misses the 3-point play opportunity. A 3 ball from the big man drops. That's Charles Half.
That's not fair.
Now it's inside for Nicholson. Now Bjorklund. Bjorklund up with it. 2 points for Bjorklund. Chaska cuts it back here with an 8. Here's a 3 ball from Nelson. Money. 25-14 with 10:50 to go here. Anders Nelson already has 14 points tonight. Not even 8 minutes in. A 25-14 lead for the Hornets on Chaska here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. There's Parker Bjorklund on the baseline. A good move up for 2. Bjorklund's up to 8.
He's definitely using his body against a lighter guard.
Yep. Nelson here, he gives it up for Middleton. Middleton spots up a train. No good. Chaska really going to need to limit those Edina role players from scoring tonight. They're going to have to guard Nelson, but that's a tough task in itself. If they can limit the role players, that's what they're going to have to do to win this game. Nicholson a tray, just off. Rebound, Bjorklund. Chaska getting the offensive rebound from their senior. Now Eliason down low. Krinos is open. Bjorklund has it. Krinos needs to step into the corner. He has it now. Spots up a long 3. No good. He forced that one a little bit. Bjorklund for the putback. Rims in and out. Nelson the rebound for the Edina Hornets.
Bjorklund second win here.
Yep.
He's going to need a little break, but he's been fantastic.
Marcus Peters and Andrew Fix are at the table right now checking in for the Hawks. Down low, there's Schmidt, or Half rather, up 4-2. Half has 5 on the evening here. 27-16, 11-point lead for the Hornets here. Nicholson down low against Half. Steal for the Edina Hornets. Half up now for Dominic Ingram, out of bounds. Chaska ball.
Real good minutes here from Charles Half, Jr. Edina. He's already hit 5 points. Also just had a steal.
The 6'5" is sophomore, junior rather, is who Eric is talking about. Again, Ryan Paul and Eric Croucher here live from Chaska High School on the Lenzen Chevrolet Buick Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. A good crowd on hand here tonight from Chaska High School. Number 1 Edina Hornets versus the unranked Chaska Hawks. Bjorklund down low, Nicholson down low rather for Chaska. Up and fouled with it. So it's going to stay at 27-16 lead for the Edina Hornets. For the time being, Nicholson has 2 free runs here though. The first one from Nicholson is good. 17-27 the score. 10-point lead for the Edina Hornets. 9 minutes, 10 seconds left. The junior for Chaska averaging 23 flat per game for the Hawks. It's up and good. Cuts it to 9. 9 minutes to go here in the first half from Chaska High School. Hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast so far. Here's Ingram for 3. Ingram's 3 is off. Rebound Nicholson. Chaska's having a chance to push here. Nicholson's going to slow it up a little bit. Moving up with it here. Now it's Peters, the senior. Peters with it over for Krinos. Krinos a 3. Got it! Connor Krinos for 3. 6-point lead for the Hornets. Chaska got a 5-0 run.
You know, a lot of times when Chaska's making threes here, it's in rhythm, it's in flow.
That's Dominic Ingram right in front of the Chaska bench. Connor Krinos giving him the business. He finally gets it off to Zach Kloos. Chaska's fans really into that one right in front of the bench. Now it's Marcus Peters locking up Luke Glenna. Glenna lost the ball. Now he gets it back. Has to swing it all the way over for Kloos now. Kloos inside, an offensive foul. Yes, sir! 8:14 to go. Chaska's fans are into it. Here with 8:14 to go, it's a 5-0 run. Chaska having a chance to expand on it. And the minute you see Anders Nelson go out of the game for the Hornets, they give up a 5-0 run. He's going to have to check back in here for Coach Joe Berger.
Well, you see there the last couple possessions defense. It's contagious. You know, a guy like Matt Eliason makes his teammates work harder. And they show him.
Connor Krinos was the one right along the Chaska bench on the far side there who was guarding Luke Glenn, or Jack Middleton rather. Now it's Nicholson up and good for 2. Chaska put in 4. A 7-0 run for the Hawks. Charlie Fisher. Back up top now for Zach Kloos. Kloos guarded by Fix. A bad screen set by Charles Half. The big man's going to shoot another 3. Air ball. Now it's down low. Back for Kloos. Kloos gives it away for Half. Half up and good for 2. Gave an elbow to freshman Spencer Getz after the play. And Edina cuts the 7-0 run. Back to 7-2 here. 7:22 right in front of us. It goes out of bounds. That was Zach Kloos in front of us who tipped it out of bounds off of the Hornets. So Chaska's going to get the ball here. Hawks looking a little bit winded. 7:20 to go. 29-23. Nicholson here guarded by Hudson in his face. No good. Rebound Bjorklund. Back up with it for 2. Got it. Good basketball from Parker Bjorklund.
That's already 4 offensive rebounds for Parker Bjorklund, using his height against a real short team outside of that one post player.
Really outworking the 6'6" height of sophomore Jacob Hudson. Crossed by Anders Nelson here. Now it's out of bounds. Hawks ball.
Connor Krinos gives a little clap. You got, that was a nice defensive effort there from Connor Krinos again. Just getting in there and disrupting Anders Nelson, make him throw one away.
Back down at the other end for Chaska is Matt Eliason. Bjorklund working against Hudson. That one rimmed in and out. 29-25 the score. Honors Nelson guarded by Eliason. Now down low for Hudson against Bjorklund. Hudson blocked by Bjorklund. That's 3 already. Another one. That's 4. Kicked out though to Fisher for 3. Got it. And he gives a stare to the Chaska students. Edina back up 32-25 here. Fisher silences the crowd. Peter's going to try to do it again. There's a foul on Hudson. Nothing called. It goes out of bounds off the Hornets. Bjorklund working hard down low. Seven-point lead for Edina here. Number 1 versus unranked Chaska. 32-25. Ryan Paul and Eric Krauscher here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Glad you could join us this evening. Whether you're watching from Chaska, Edina, or anywhere else in the world, we are happy that you've joined us. Hope you'll come back for our hockey or basketball broadcast. There's Nicholson down low. It rimmed in and out. He was fighting through a lot of contact. 5:52 to go here in the first half. Anders Nelson, the Edina leading scorer with 14 so far tonight. He pulls up from 15. It's ugly. Bjorklund wasn't looking for the rebound. It goes out of bounds. That's Chaska ball. Yes, sir.
You can tell Edina likes to play that run and gun style. It's exhausting.
Yep.
You can see why they're playing well against these top 4A teams, because that's a tough style to defend.
We go to break here. It's a 30-second timeout for the Hornets. When we come back, a 32-25 lead for Edina.
This Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network live stream is brought to you by Lenzen Chevrolet Buick, Above and Beyond Marketing Communications, and St. Francis Orthopedic Rehab.
Welcome back to Chaska High School. Hawks and Hornets here. Battle of the Birds and the Bees. 32-25, 7-point lead for Edina. They once led by 11 early in the matchup. A very good crowd on hand here on American Heart Association's Red Out Night. If you go to our website at chaskabasketballreport.com and go to the broadcast network page, quite possibly where you're viewing this game from right now, you'll see a link to the donate page for the AHA right there. 5:30 to go. Leah spots up a 3. It doesn't fall. Nelson boxed out and got the rebound. He pushes down the other end for Middleton. Middleton back up to Nelson. Nelson in the corner for Charlie Fisher. Down low for Hudson against Nicholson. Lost the ball. Gives it up. Returning it for Luke Glenna. Glenna with 9.8 points per game. Now it's back down for Hudson rather. Hudson rims in and out. Bjorklund with the board. 5 minutes and change here. Pushing ahead is Chaska. Marcus Peters with it. Now he gives it back up for Eliason. Eliason returns to Peters now. Peters to Nicholson. Nicholson inside for Bjorklund. Bjorklund now working against Middleton. Bjorklund up with the left. Up and rims in and out. Nelson the rebound. 4:44 to go in the first half. Nelson crossing over, shaking him loose. 32-25, 7-point lead here for the Edina Hornets. Class 4A, Section 2 battle here tonight. These teams last met in the Section semifinal last year. The Hawks took that game 73-61. Miles Hansen had 46 points for the Chaska Hawks. Everybody else held to single digits. Nelson inside now. Nelson last year, as he sinks another one, averaged 16 points per game as a junior. Now a senior, averaging almost double that at 24. Cookie from Nelson rather. Now Nicholson has it into the corner for Bjorklund. Bjorklund's going to go up with off the glass for 2. A nice dribble drive from the Chaska senior Bjorklund.
What we talked about early in the season here was who's going to be that next guy after Nicholson, and Parker Bjorklund has really established himself on the offensive end.
Last 2 games for Chaska's Parker Bjorklund have been 20-point performances. A jump ball in the tie-up is going to go in favor of Edina. But as I was saying, number 1 out there for Chaska, 6'6" senior forward Parker Bjorklund, averaging 16 points a game. Had his season high in the last 2 matchups, 21 points per game against Lakeville North and Island Park, both wins for Chaska.
Well, you can even see even tonight he's even stepped up even more, tried to go at that basket. A little bit of a mismatch.
Down low for Edina, that's Charlie Fisher. He's up to 5 points tonight. Edina back up 9. Largest lead for Edina still at 11. 3:26 to go. Down low, Nicholson. Nicholson battling. He goes up with it. No good. Rebound, Nelson. Chaska's post shots really struggling to find their way through the hoop tonight. Nelson at the top of the key, swinging it around are the Edina Hornets. Jack Middleton steps back. He's up for a 3. No good. Nicholson battling for the board, and he gets it. Zach Leah, the sophomore, pushes ahead here at the guard. Now it's inside for Brooklyn. They force the pass a little bit, and a steal for Jack Middleton and the Edina Hornets. Nelson now with a chance. Ball handler extraordinaire is number 4 in white, Anders Nelson. Jack Middleton here. Now he gives it inside. It's Charles Half who misses the lay-in. 2:42 on the clock. Zach Leah pushes. Now it's Elias out on the baseline. Finds open Connor Krinos. Krinos head fake on the baseline. Swings it all the way around to Bjorklund now. Bjorklund on the other corner, guarded by Nelson. So a little bit of a mismatch in favor of Parker Bjorklund size-wise, but Nelson going to scrap for all the rebounds, as is Bjorklund. Now Krinos has a wide-open 3. Nobody was guarding him. That's money. Connor Krinos cuts the lead back down to 6 here, and it's a 36-30 ball game with 2:14 to go.
Yeah, Krinos has definitely given them a big boost off the bench pretty much every game here with his outside shooting.
Nelson through the lane. Beautiful basketball as we approach 2 minutes to go. Puts Edina back up by 8. A 18-point performance for the Edina Hornets. Anders Nelson. Krinos tries another. This one is up and off. Rebounded by Charlie Fisher for the Edina Hornets. Anders Nelson here bringing it up. Nelson guarded by Eliason. He's going to slow it down with 1:40 to go. Eliason rather stays on him. Now a ball screen. It's number 22 inside. Charles Half up and good for 2. He's up to 9 points on the evening. 1:30, 90 seconds to go. Leah crossing over against Luke Glenna. Krinos with it. He switched and guarded by Glenna. Now it's Bjorklund. Takes the baseline from 10 air ball. It was way too strong from Chaska's Bjorklund. 1:15 to go. Slow it up, Charlie Fisher. Now Luke Glenna along the sideline right in front of the Chaska students. Nelson for the Edina Hornets. Here's Anders Nelson, the senior, averaging 24 plus. Into the corner. Charlie Fisher. Fisher guarded by Half now with it, guarded by Nicholson. We go under a minute, 50 seconds left. Inside Luke Glenna, dribble drive off Bjorklund body, and a foul called. 10-point lead for the Hornets. 2 on Parker Bjorklund.
Yeah, and we talked about pregame here about that 60-point threshold, not giving that team that offensive game, and Edina already have 40 points. This is not the type of style that Chaska can win, is that shootout game.
Yep. Chaska yet to lead in the matchup. A 10-point lead for the Hornets here. At the line, Luke Glenna for the second of 2. He missed the front end. Chaska students heckling him. He goes 0 for 2. Rebound, Chaska. Krinos. 43 seconds left. Krinos slowing it up here. 38 seconds left. Guarded by Nelson. Now it's off for Zach Leah. Leah over to Krinos. Krinos to Eliason. Now it's for Peters. 26 seconds left. Peters off for Eliason here. It's Nicholson Bjorklund who found the bench on that last substitution. Up top, Leah has it. Edina and Chaska, 10 seconds left in the first half. A 10-point lead for the Edina Hornets here. Chaska's third home game of the year. A hard set screen by Eliason. Now Nicholson has it. 4-3-2. Marcus Peters has to get it off. He doesn't. It goes out of bounds with 1 second flat left. And Edina probably not going to be able to get a shot off. They can do their best here with 1 second left. Nelson, time expired before he could get it off. His half-court heave falls just short at the break. A 10-point lead for Edina, who once led by 11. Anders Nelson, the star so far, with 18. Parker Bjorklund has 12 for the Hawks. When we come back, we will bring you a brief intermission report, and we will have second half action here from Chaska High School on the Lenz and Chevrolet Buick Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. We'll be right back. A 10-point lead for the Edina Hornets.
This Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network live stream is brought to you by Lenz and Chevrolet Buick. Above Above and Beyond Marketing Communications, and St. Francis Orthopedic Rehab.
Welcome back to Chaska High School for Chaska Hawks and Edina Hornets. A 10-point lead for the Hawks, or a 10-point lead for the Edina Hornets, rather. Here with Eric Croucher, my color guy partner tonight. First half impressions for Chaska and Edina here, Eric.
Good half offensively for Chaska. Need to have a better effort defensively. I mean, 40 points is obviously a season high for a team against Chaska. Edina's shot the ball really, really well, but if you look at beyond Nelson and half off the bench, Glenna hit a couple threes, but Middleton has 2 points, so they could probably even be up more. So Chaska's still in this ball game. They need to slow down the game a little bit here.
And here we go, ready for second half action right in front of us. Chaska's Matt Elias and inbounds into the backcourt, and Zach Leah working right to left on your television, tablet, phone screen, whatever device you're watching on this evening. Thank you for joining us on the Lenzen Chevrolet Buick Chaska Hawks broadcast network. Connor Carino's pump faked and gave up a three. Now Zach Leah is going to have a go at it from the free throw line. No good. Rebound, first missed shot of the half. Rebound Luke Glenna for the Edina Hornets. Glenna with 6 in that first half, and a steal for Chaska here. Bjorklund lost it, and Anders Nelson regains possession for Edina. Nelson with 18 in the first half. His season high this year, 29 against Benilde St. Margaret's in their season opener. He's averaging 24.6 total. Now a three ball. Charlie Fisher passes up a three ball rather. Jack Middleton at the top. Middleton working on a double team. Gives it back up for Glenna. Glenna, nice pass inside for Nelson. Nelson up and fouled. Beautiful basketball there. Glenna gave a nice spinning pass inside for a streaking Nelson. He went up and was fouled. 17:05, still a 10-point lead for the Edina Hornets.
Well, and the thing that's most impressive with him is that, a kid like him, he could probably score 20 points a game from the outside, but he loves to go to that basket, and, it just opens up so much more things for his team.
And we've seen it here, not only on the scoring side of things, but rebounding and steals. I mean, he's really an aggressive player. He's a great basketball mind and really knows how to play the game. So, a very good have for Edina. He hasn't made his further education decision yet, but he, as we said earlier in the broadcast, got an offer from St. Cloud State University just last night. Connor Carino's up at the other end, good for 2. Chaska back with it 9.
Yeah, you don't see that very often where you get a guy who didn't start the first half, starts the second half, but, Carino's really gave them a nice spark in the first half, and so warrant that start.
Carino's really earned his minutes so far this year. He's been a pretty solid shooter for the Hawks as Zach Lee grabs the rebound off the miss. As I was saying, Carino's the junior, averaging 9.0 per game. He's been really good scorer for Chaska from beyond the arc, and also a very good facilitator out there as well. He's also a good basketball mind for head coach Dana Coleman and his Chaska Hawks crew. Here's Zach Leah for the purple team. That's the Chaska Hawks. He connects.
Right there, perfect example. Zach Leah stepped into his shot. I've seen him a couple other times where the hands in the face, he releases, just doesn't get that full release. A lot more confident on that shot.
Back within 7 are the Chaska Hawks. Luke Glenna at the other end for Edina now. Through the leg goes Anders Nelson. Now a tipped pass inside, recovered by Hudson. Into the corner for Middleton for 3, no good. Rebound by Zach. Here comes Chaska. Carino's up the floor. Carino's over to Nicholson. Nicholson has it go. This one's off. Chaska's Parker Bjorklund couldn't get off his box out quick enough to grab a rebound.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, Cole's trying to shoot his way out of this here.
Yep.
He's 0 for 5 on threes.
Not something we see very often. Nicholson will get you points from inside as Carino's chucks up a 3. Chaska getting a little trigger happy here with 15:30 to go. Nelson the other way. As I was saying, Nicholson, pretty consistent shooter and one for Nelson. But, we alluded to it in the pregame show. He'll give you consistent points from not only inside the arc, being a 6'6" junior, but he'll also be able to pull up from long range. And he's kind of not really been able to show us that here tonight.
Sometimes you get really amped up for these games, and you're just a little off, and he airballed one early, and yeah, nothing's been close.
He works so much at his shot in his game, does Nicholson, and he just wants to compete and win, and he has the talent, he has the size, the ability is there, and it's good to see him scoring 23 points a game, and it's really hard to see when he just can't make a shot for a player like that. So here he is now, gives it out for Leah. Leah, long release on the three, a little bit flat. No, Eliason came in with the rebound, he lost it out of bounds, and it goes in favor of Edina. Nelson and Edina with a break there with 15:05 to go. Head coach Dana Coleman in his 13th year for Chaska at the helm. He previously did coach at Edina for 10 plus years. He had a good tenure there. Collected his 200th win in his career earlier this season. Nelson here, or Middleton rather, spins around. Rebound Glenna against Krinos. Glenna now over for Middleton. Middleton cut it off before it could reach Fisher. Now it's inside. Nicholson steals it away, down 10. Chaska going to need to do something to get back within single digits and cut it down even more. Now it's Bjorklund the other way, off the glass for two. Bjorklund really good at going to the rack, and he tries to get his students pumped up here, down 8 here. Bjorklund's up to 14.
And that's what's worked for Chaska is Parker going towards the hoop, and so it's something I'd like to see from Cole as well, is get him some more inside looks here.
Nicholson, he's really explosive. He just to the hoop. It's just he doesn't always blow through guys. So Bjorklund's shown that he can do that here this season. A couple of dunks so far. Now down low, Matt Eliason against Charlie Fisher. Chaska back within 6. Eliason's first 2 points of the ball game coming a layup down here with 14 minutes to go in the regulation period. Nelson right in front of us now, guarded by Eliason. He crosses over, beats the switch from the free throw line, misses. Chaska got away with a mistake there. Back down the other way is Eliason. He's going to cross over, set it up for Leah now. Leah to Nicholson. Here goes Nicholson to the rim. Up. Foul. Offensive. It was a charge against Cole Nicholson. Failed to control his body as he went to the rack. Marcus Peters going to check in, replacing Zach Leah. So Chaska goes empty on that possession. They stay down 6. Nicholson's first foul of the game. Nelson calling on a play as he crosses the timeline, guarded by Eliason. One thing, Eric, we've seen here, no Spencer Getz tonight for Chaska.
Yeah, he got a little bit of clock there in the first half, I believe, when Nicholson went to get his contacts, but yeah, nothing since.
The freshman saw some good minutes as Connor Crino spots up a trade, no good. Nobody there for the putback. Chaska's Bjorklund finally comes away with it. Gives it back for Krinos, down to Peters. Spencer gets the freshman, seeing good minutes so far. He's still averaging only half a point a game, but he's putting in good work for Chaska in other areas in his 9th grade year here at Chaska High School. Tipped out of bounds by Luke Glenna. Chaska's going to retain possession with 12:54 to go.
Yeah, and Parker Bjorklund, that's 2 times in a row down the court here. He's had offensive rebounds. Couldn't cash in the tip last time, but here he gets one and gives us another possession, and that's big possession right here.
You can't see Parker Bjorklund as he inbounds it because the Chaska students are all on their feet. Now Nicholson inside, hard pass out to Krinos. Pump fake, Krinos from 10, no good, short. God, that would have been good for Chaska to get a bucket on that possession. They stay down 6. Chaska needs to stay positive here. 12:38 to go, Nelson. Over to Fisher, now back up top to Nelson. Nelson, just by the way he plays, he can get in your head as an opposing team as we go under 12.5 here with Chaska High School in Edina. And Chaska here. Into the corner, Kloos. Number 20, the 6'1 junior up top for Charlie Fisher. Here's Kloos again. Kloos up with it, blocked by Bjorklund, but a foul called. Bjorklund did make a little bit too much contact from behind as Kloos went up with it. Kloos yet to score tonight. Going to have a chance at his first points here with 12:12 to go in regulation.
Yeah, with this pace, Coach Coleman's going to have to use his timeout strategically here to get a little bit of a break, because you can see on the defensive end, it's taken a lot.
Kloos at the line is good on the first one. Fick's going to check in, replacing Krinos. No, he's going to replace Bjorklund rather. Bjorklund, his 3rd foul. Was that last one. Chaska would be very nice for head coach Dana Coleman to have Bjorklund at the ready. Here's Kloos for the 2nd of 2. It's up, no good. Rebound, Nicholson. Nicholson coast to coast here. He enters the paint. Nicholson goes up with it to the flop of Nelson. and one. Foul against Anders Nelson. Chaska back within 5. Nicholson has a chance to cut it to 4. The Chaska junior at the line here. Some early season free throw struggles for Chaska and Cole Nicholson, but they've been able to recover, and Nicholson cuts the lead to 4 here. 12 minutes to go. Edina down low. Here's Jacob Hudson up and no good. Marcus Peters the rebound. Chaska with a chance to cut it to a 1-possession game. Here if they can get a bucket here. 11:50 on the clock. Creno's running the possession for Chaska on this one. He has it here, gives it inside for Nicholson. Foul against Anders Nelson. That's 3. So a couple of quick fouls here for Anders Nelson. And Luke Glenna, after getting a quick breather on the bench, is going to come in to replace the 24.6 average scorer Anders Nelson. Also exiting Jacob Hudson. Nicholson off the glass. Got it. 1-possession game. And I think Chaska's going to have to capitalize here off Anders Nelson being on the bench. Earlier in the game, they were able to get a run going with him on the bench. Nelson with 22 tonight sits on the bench with 3 fouls.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here with Parker Bjorklund out who the next guy is. Cole's really done everything since, but big minutes here for Andrew Fix, Marcus Peters, see what they can do. They both have no points.
Chaska's defense applauded by the fans here. 11:05 to go. Running the show, Dominic Ingram. He enters the lane, goes up with it off the glass. What a shot. I don't know if that was luck or what, but that one kind of silenced the crowd. Back to a 2-possession game, 47-43 Ingram. His 5-point night continues here. Here's Eliason rather. Creno's a wide open 3. Money, Connor Creno's 1-point game. Creno's up to 13. Luke Glenna guarded by Eliason. Now Glenna gives it over for Fisher. Fisher up for Ingram. Ingram as Chaska students get into it. Here's Glenna at the top. He's going to have to run the show without Nelson on the floor here. A corner 3 from Klus is off. Chaska the rebound. Here's a lead opportunity. Eliason with it. He had Nicholson open. Nicholson wants him to swing it around. Now it's entered for Chaska's Cole Nicholson. Fix with it. Fix into the corner for Eliason. Pump fake. He's got an open lane up. No good. Rebound. Still loose. Eliason diving on the floor. And it's still loose. Creno's the board. Nicholson now in the corner. Nicholson here. Fix has a 3. This for the lead. Blocked. Eliason tipped away the rebound. Grabbed by Dominic Ingram for Edina. So Chaska's running it there. Canceled out by a blocked 3-pointer off the hands of Andrew Fix. Now a flop around on the floor by Luke Glenna. Now into the corner for half. Nelson still on the bench. 22 points on the night. 3 fouls, more importantly. Here's Peters ahead. Peters into the corner. Creno's for the lead. Yes, sir! Connor Creno's for 3. And the Chaska fans are into it. Anders Nelson going to have to come off the bench. Chaska with a 49-47 lead on the Edina Hornets, the number 1 seed in Class 4A. 9 minutes to go, and this gym is electrified. The gym electrified here with 8:45 to go. Edina failing to get it inside the arc. Now they do. Gets the rebound. Eliason pushes for Creno's. Hesitation. Inside. Called for a travel. And a run killer there for Chaska. A timeout on the floor. Head coach Joe Berger, hired in 2013 by Edina, coached at Holy Family and Minnetonka prior to his arrival with the Hornets, has to call a timeout. We'll be right back on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Hawks with a 2-point lead.
This Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network live stream is brought to you by Lenzen Chevrolet Buick, Above and Beyond Marketing Communications, and St. Francis Orthopedic Rehab.
Welcome back to Chaska High School. Ryan Paul joining you here live on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Hawks with a 2-point lead. Connor Krinos heads scoring leader for Chaska here. 16 points for the Chaska Hawks. Dana Coleman and his squad with a 2-point lead here. Chaska's Parker Brooklyn with 14. Anders Nelson, who just checked back in with 3 fouls, has 22 for Edina. Eric, a run for Chaska here. They have the lead by 2 with 8:35 to go.
Well, I mean, again, it starts all with defense. 7 points in the first 10 minutes for Edina here. And what does defense do? Gets the offense going, gets the crowd going, and, that's what they did against Lakeville North.
Under 8.5 to go here, 49-47. Up top, Zach Kloos with it. Nelson, who just comes off the bench. He'll be playing the 2, it looks like, here for Edina on this possession. An errant pass, off ball. The sophomore, Jacob Hudson, threw it out of bounds, and Chaska's going to get a chance to expand on their lead here. The Edina fans, players, and even head coach looking a little bit dejected here in the last couple minutes. 49-47, the Hawks lead the number 1 team in the state. I would suspect Chaska, if they can pull off this one, will be probably top 8 in the rankings here. They beat number 7 Lakeville North as Nicholson pulls a 3, no good. Nelson the board. They'd be probably top 8 in those rankings. They beat Lakeville North number 7, and now if they can pull off this one against Edina number 1, they'd be pretty well respected in that Class 4A.
Oh, certainly, absolutely would. And, it's one of those things where you got to keep proving yourself.
Krinos battling for the board. Chaska Zach Leah comes away with it. It's going to bring it up, guarded by Nelson. Shout out Miles Hansen watching from Columbia University in Manhattan. Ex-Chaska player Luke Glenna jumps a passing lane from Leah. Luke Glenna up and good for 2. Puts Edina and Chaska all square at 49 here. That's all right. Chaska's got to keep battling. They still got the momentum on their side.
Jim doesn't realize there's 7 minutes left in this
game.
Right. We've got last 2 minutes atmosphere here.
Right, and that's probably a good thing for Chaska at their home stadium here. The Hawks Nest, they call it. Peters pulls a 3. Got it! Peters puts Chaska on top. His first points of the game, the Hawks senior. 52-49, the Hawks want their crowd to get into it. Here's Connor Krinos clapping his hands, guarding Nelson. Peters, his first 3 of the evening, a big one here with 6:45 to go. Nelson with a grin on his face, guarded by Krinos, locking him down. Krinos stares him in the eye. He's into it. Now Nelson steps back and drains it. Yep. He'll get a little lip in with the Chaska Jr., as he probably should. Krinos trying to get him pumped up for it, and back here 52-49, or 52-52 rather. Nelson up to 25, almost a season high. His season high is 29. Parker Brooklyn with Chaska back on top. A fantastic game here. Head coach Dana Coleman for Chaska needs a full timeout. When we come back, Chaska still with a 2-point lead on the Lens and Chevrolet Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network.
This Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network live stream is brought to you by Lens and Chevrolet Buick, Above and Beyond Marketing Communications, and St. Francis Orthopedic Rehab.
Welcome back to Chaska High School on the Lens and Chevrolet Buick Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. It's the Red Out Night here. Part of the American Heart Association's benefit towards heart issue research. I'm trying to get my words a little bit mixed up there. A 54-52 lead here. Ryan Paul alongside me, Eric Krauscher of the Chaska Herald, coming to you live here with 6:05 to go.
We did get a scoring change here. That last bucket from Anders Nelson was ruled a 2.
Okay. So Chaska back up 54-41. I'm going to alert my statistician real quick. 5:48 to go. Max Hannon, my statistician tonight. Jack Archer on the production. Ball movement by Chaska. Plenty on this possession. 5:44 to go. Here's Nicholson. Here's a three. It's a big one for his first make of the night. Nicholson up to 16. A 6-point lead for the Chaska Hawks. Their largest lead of the ballgame.
Well, if you saw that one, had time, set his feet, nice release. Didn't.
Nelson misses it to the overrated chance of Chaska. Zach Leah into the hole, misses that one. 5:09 to go, a 6-point lead for Chaska. 5 minutes in change. Anders Nelson going to try to take over here. A beautiful move from the Edina senior. 26 points on the night. He's approaching his season high.
Well, you'll look at the box score tomorrow and say, man, who guarded that kid? But Matt Eliason's, he's putting everything into it. That's all Nelson.
I think if you put anybody, I mean, Matt Eliason's Chaska's best defender in the team. If you put anybody other than Matt Eliason on there, he's probably up on 35 by now. Nicholson's three rims in and out, and a hold against Eliason. Wow. Matt Eliason has three now, and let's see if he finds the bench. Jacob Hudson and him were battling for it on the other end, and Eliason called for the reach in. He's going to stay on the floor. It'll be Zach Leah who exits for Dana Coleman.
A lot of it's where your position is, and he was behind the guy trying to reach around. It's always going to be called.
Yep. So Edina here, down 4. 57-53. Nelson over to Glenna. Glenna into the corner for Nelson. Nelson on the baseline. Pass batted out of bounds. A steal for Chaska. 4:24 to go. 57-53. Inside for Bjorklund. Bjorklund with 3 fouls, as is Matt Eliason. A 3-ball from Peters. Yes, sir! Chaska up by 7. Peters up to 6. 2 big three-pointers in the second half as we approach the 4-minute mark here. Chaska's fans are ecstatic. Nelson here, outside for half. Half chucks up a 3-ball. It's off. Rebound honors Nelson. Nelson is wide open. Nicholson displeased. Nelson misses the wide open one. Rebound offensively by Edina though. Chaska's got to lock up those defensive rebounds. Now it's Nelson. He slows it up, passed up a 3-ball, down 7. 3:42 to go. A dandy here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Nelson inside, off to Glenna. Glenna for 3 from the corner. Good. Timeout, Edina. Full timeout for the Edina Hornets and Joe Berger when we come back on the Lens and Chevrolet Buick Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Is the 4-point lead for Chaska on the #1 team in the state. We'll be right back.
This Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network live stream is brought to you by Lens and Chevrolet Buick, Above and Beyond Marketing Communications, and St. Francis Orthopedic Rehab.
Here we go, a 4-point lead for Chaska on Edina, the #1 team in the state. Hawks and Hornets here. Ryan Paul alongside me, Eric Krauscher of the Chaska Herald. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at ChanChaskaSport. I'm at RyPaul21. Great follows if you're looking for some great Southwest Metro athletics coverage. Eric, 5 schools you do?
5 schools: Chanhassen, Chaska, Holy Family, Minnetonka, and Southwest Christian.
He's a busy man and he really works his tail off, so I'd highly recommend giving him a follow and reading some of his content. 3.5 to go here. Hawks up by 4. Connor Krinos works through the flop from Luke Glenna. He's upset that nothing was called. Now Parker Bjorklund has it. Bjorklund, a lot of contact. Nicholson here. Nicholson to Eliason. Eliason inside for Bjorklund. Krinos, here's Marcus Peters for 3. It's a little bit too long. Rebound by Middleton. Chaska needs to keep the momentum here. 3:10 on the clock. 4-point lead for the Hawks. Now Nelson going to do his best to take over here and lead Edina here. 26 points for the Edina senior. #4 honors Nelson. Nicholson doing a good job of staying in his face there. Glenna now. Glenna at the other end. Blocked by Peters and a foul. Man, I'm not the only one in the gym who thought that probably could have been left go. And with 2:54, we have a beautiful game here.
Well, the thing with Nelson here, he's got 26 points, but he's had a couple chances to fire wild shots in the last couple possessions, and both times he's passed those up, found Glenna for a three, found Glenna here to get a couple free throws, and so you can tell the maturation from Nelson here from previous year where they would have gotten in his head and he would have been taking those big wild shots. So
the second one from Glenna is good. He's 2 for 2, cuts it to 2-point lead for Chaska here. The Hawks have been leading for about a quarter of this, or about a half of this second half. The number 1 team in the state down to the Chaska Hawks, who are unranked at the moment, but more than likely will be put up in that top 10, hopefully. I think they deserve the recognition. That's just from my point of view. Here's Connor Krinos. Off for Eliason now. Eliason and Nicholson. Nicholson drives. Up and good for 2. Chaska by 4. Nicholson with 18 points here. Glenna to the chance of Let's Go Chaska by the abundance of Chaska students on hand here this evening. Down low, it's Hudson, up and good for 2. 60-62. 2 minutes to go here. See what happens in the final 2 minutes of action regulation. 62-60. Hawks and Hornets. Nicholson at the timeline, guarded by Hudson. Hudson for Bjorklund now. Bjorklund takes the baseline. Up against Nelson. Bjorklund was a little bit too greedy. That's 4 on Parker Bjorklund.
Yeah, Nelson could sense it.
That's not anything new to defenders of Parker Bjorklund.
No, and you know that Parker's going to go with his left hand a lot there, and so
Bjorklund elects it with 4 fouls, and we've had a couple of dunks that have been from Parker Bjorklund from that kind of area of him skying up from the baseline, and he got a little bit too aggressive there on that one and called for the charge. So 4 fouls for Chaska's number 1, Parker Bjorklund, 16.3 average per game here this evening. A streaky Glenna didn't get the ball. Now a screen. Anders Nelson ran right into it. A turnover by Edina. Nelson still scrapping for it, and the Hornets get it back. Glenna back up top for Fisher. Here's a Middleton 3. Got it. Edina with the lead. A good possession from Edina. What could have been if Chaska had just grabbed that rebound, but it was for Anders Nelson. And a timeout by Chaska. 1:19 to go. 1-point lead for Edina. We will return with the final 1:19 of action between number 1 Edina and the Chaska Hawks. We'll be right back.
This Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network live stream is brought to you by Lenz and Chevrolet Buick, Above and Beyond Marketing Communications, and St. Francis Orthopedic Rehab.
Ryan Paul and Eric Croucher coming to you here live from Chaska High School. We've got 1:19 to go in regulation here. A beauty from the Hawks Nest. Nicholson with it for Chaska. Parker Bjorklund on the floor with 4 fouls. Peters, now Nicholson. Nicholson inside. He's got 18 tonight. Gives it off for Krinos. Here's a 3. Connor Krinos. Got it! Chaska with the lead.
Gets a little shimmy on that for 3.
Krinos he's got an attitude, and hopefully it'll pay off for him. The Chaska fans going to rise to their feet here. Anders Nelson clamped by Elias. Krinos wants the fans into it, and they're getting into it. Here goes Chaska. Anders Nelson gives it off for Fisher. Fisher back to Nelson. 40 seconds left. Hawks with a 2-point lead on the Hornets. Nelson for three, long range, no good. Rebound. There's a foul, nothing called. Edina got a free rebound off of a no call. 31 seconds left. Timeout, Joe Berger. We'll be right back. Actually, you know what? Let's keep it here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Ryan, Paul, and Eric Crouch are here live with the last 31.6. Eric, what a game we have here so far.
Well, yeah, you got some offensive rebound chances here for Edina. The last couple possessions extending the game. Nelson with a wild three there, but, you know, he might make that the next time. You know, Chaska here, they got to grab that basketball. That ball was sitting there and sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. Another thing to look at here, we got fouls 7-2. Edina's going to have to foul a bunch if they need a foul here to get to that bonus. So, yeah, if you're Edina, you're going to have to shoot early in this count here.
Yep. They're down by 2 to a Chaska team that's got the physicality that they need to take down this number 1 ranked Edina Hornets team. 65-63 with just a couple seconds left in the timeout called by Joe Berger for Edina. Here we go with the final 31.1. It's in the backcourt for Honors Nelson. Nelson with 28 seconds left. He's guarded by Elias, and Chaska up by 2. The number 1 team in the state down by 2 to the Chaska Hawks. Yeah, Nelson has to give it up. He gives it over for Fisher to save it from going out of bounds. Now Middleton with it. Middleton throws it out of bounds. Oh, 14 seconds left.
And here's what I was talking about. They're going to have to foul 5 times to get free throws. That's going to take some time off, but that's a lot of inbound passes.
14 seconds left.
Chaska has 2 timeouts left.
Dana Coleman with it. Edina's going to foul. This one looking positive.
Now, that took 3 seconds off the clock. Edina's going to have to be really, really quick.
Edina only 3 fouls in the half. They have a ways until that 1-1 is a thing.
Chaska does have 2 timeouts here, so if they get into a situation where they can't get the ball in, Coleman can call timeout.
Nicholson fouled by Galena.
That's only 4 fouls. Still 3 more fouls to go.
So they're going to let as much time tick off here as they can. Key thing, ball possession. 10.1, they need to get it in cleanly. Carino's with it in the backcourt. 9, 8, 7, now they foul after 3 seconds run off the clock.
Yeah, that's awareness here. Edina's got to understand the situation here. Not try to just sit. They got to foul right away.
Eliason with 8 seconds. Chaska by 2. He needs to get it in. Nicholson with it. That's number 2 on Galena. 7.2, and we're still not in the bonus.
Now here's where you want to try to get the ball to your best free throw shooters. Now we're in that 1-on-1 situation.
They're going to give it to Bjorklund. Now Nicholson fouled, so Nicholson will have 2 from the line. 6.3 to go. Hawks with a chance here to go up by a a 2 possession game. That's what. There we go. 6.3 on the clock. That is 6 3/10. Nicholson the junior at the line. A 65-63 lead for Chaska. Nicholson, number 33 in purple, stands at the line, twirls the ball in his hands, puts it up, and it's good. A 3-point lead for Chaska, number 1 team in the state, down by a 3-pointer to the Chaska Hawks. Nicholson with a chance to make it a 2-possession matchup here. He's at the line. The crowd is quiet. Up and no good. Edina with a chance to tie it. Here's Nelson. Nelson with 3 seconds. Timeout Edina. Last one. Joe Berger's going to draw up a 3.3-second play. They need a 3-ball to tie it. We will go to one more. Actually, you know what? Let's keep it here. We'll do our. I'll read off the advertisements live here. We got Lenz and Chevrolet Buick, our number 1 sponsor here. Make sure to check them out downtown Chaska. Chaska High School. It's a 3-point lead for the Hawks on the number 1 team in the state. We've got 3 3/10 to go. Edina with the ball at the timeline. Head coach Joe Berger talking to his guys in the huddle right now. They're going to draw up a play. I would imagine it'd be Anders Nelson, but you never know. A decoy could be a factor here. Jazz is going to have to wear of it.
Well, you got Jack Middleton who hit his last three-pointer. Luke Glenna's also got 3 3-pointers in the game. You always watch the guy who inbounds the ball, and that's Luke Glenna. You could see something where he gets the ball back, but yeah, Anders Nelson obviously would be your first choice. But Matt Eliason plays really tough defense. He might not see the ball.
The Chaska fans are on their feet here for the final 3.3 on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. It's going to be Luke Glenna who sets up the inbound, but not before Dana Coleman calls time. And now we'll go to break here on the Lunch and Chevrolet Buick Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Chaska takes a timeout. We'll be right back.
This Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network live stream is brought to you by Lens and Chevrolet Buick, Above and Beyond Marketing Communications, and St. Francis Orthopedic Rehab.
Welcome back for the final 3 3/10 of a second here from Chaska High School. The number 1 team in the state, Edina Hornets, and your very own Chaska Hawks are getting ready for this inbound play. Luke Glenna to inbound for Edina. Who's going to poke out for the Hornets? They need to get it in. They give it to Nelson. Nelson steps back with 1 second left, and it's no good! Chaska takes down number 1! A 66-63 final. And Chaska has beaten number 7 in the state, and now they're beating the Edina Hornets, the number 1 seed. What a game! There they go, a 66-63 victory for the Hawks. Heartbreak for the Edina Hornets. Wow!
23 second-half points for Edina after scoring 40 in the first 18 minutes.
Anders Nelson held to less than to single digits, I believe, in the second half. Man, I could be wrong with that, but to the rest of my memory, he finishes with a 26-point night. Chaska's Connor Crinos and Cole Nicholson both finish with 19. Parker Bjorklund brings up the next one with that, 16 points for the Chaska senior. We'll try to get someone here from the team, an interview here real quick. We will be right back. Do not go anywhere on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. We thank you for joining us here. Hawks take down number 1.
This Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network live stream is brought to you by Lens and Chevrolet Buick, Above and Beyond Marketing Communications, and St. Francis Orthopedic Rehab.
Well, we are here live with Cole Nicholson. We're right up here, Cole. Chaska's Cole Nicholson Jr. finished with 19. Heck of a game, Cole.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Well, great game for Chaska. Cole Nicholson. Oh, sorry. There we go. Now we got your mic on. Now we got his mic on. Cole Nicholson, 19 points. Great game. Cole, kind of walk us through the last 5 minutes here when you guys really turned it on. What was going through everybody's mind? What was the team thinking?
You know, we weren't shooting well, but you know, it doesn't really matter. It just came down. We were clutch. Krinos made a couple threes. You know, everyone just played their asses off, honestly, and it was awesome.
Yep, and so Chaska obviously winning by 3 over number 1 Edina. So stop talking in our ear. I know you guys can't hear that, but let's get Connor over here real quick. You guys change out headsets. Connor Krinos also finished with 19. Great game, Krinos. Sharp shooting. Won the game for you guys. Great job, Connor. What does it feel like?
It's great. I mean, coming in with 5 straight wins, beating the number 17, coming to our home court, upsetting the number 1 team. Couldn't be much happier.
Great win. Great job. That's going to do it for us here on the Lens and Chevrolet Buick Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. For Eric Krauscher, my statistician Max Hannon, my producer Jack Archer, and my camera guy Danny Johnson. So long, everybody. Signing off from Chaska High School. The Hawks win 66-63 over number 1 Edina. We'll be back for Chaska Hawks basketball later this week. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.